What did you make of it? The Kohli thing.
I just love the way you asked it. What did you make of
What
it?
did you make of the Kohli thing?
It's interesting. I saw a tweet and I found it funny. The tweet goes, there is just one person in Kotla who can just get the crowd to become completely quiet with just one finger, and that was Nitin Menon. And that was the decision. Yeah. Look, I feel, I do understand a lot of people going hard at Richard Illingworth because he's the third umpire. But let's rewind back to what happened. On first instance, when you saw it, at least when I saw it, I thought that was a really hard one for the umpire to give. But with the advent of DRS, they're becoming slightly more wild in their thoughts and believe that you have a DRS option, go for it if you want. And hence, he's backing himself to believe that would hit the stump. Now, the bigger question is, did it hit the bat first or pad first? If Nitin Menon tells me he was sure it hit the pad first, then I would be very surprised. But again, it was a really hard one on field. But the moment he's given it out, when you go back to the third umpire, then there should be conclusive evidence to turn that dismissal around. And I don't think there was conclusive evidence. So then you have to stick with the umpire's decision. Yeah. The interesting part is if Nitin Menon had not given it out, and if DRS had been taken by Australia, well, they didn't have the option, but in case they did, it would have remained not out.
Yeah, now the question is, if he had gone not out and he wasn't sure, did he go out over not out because Australia did not have the DRS available to them? If he had gone not out, Australia could have done nothing about it. I wonder sometimes if that plays in the umpire's mind, the number of reviews that are available with respect to the decision that they give. But I agree entirely with DK that it was tough to call. And the moment he gave it out, then the only question was, is it going on to hit the stumps? Some people have suggested on Twitter that there is an ICC, there is a law, one of the laws of the game, and a recent amendment says that if the impact is at the same time between bat and pad, then it will be regarded as having hit the bat. But the question there was there a marginal moment, a tiny moment when it went pad bat?
But that's the thing. If you do see the spike, the what do you call that, Harsha?
The spike. Yeah.
The spike that came through. Yeah. It was a small spike at the start. Then the big one. The big one suggests the bat. So the small one has to be suggesting that hit the pad first. At least that's what the third umpire will imply, and he has to go with that. You have to have conclusive evidence to say that hit the bat first, and he didn't have that. So he went with what the umpire had given, and the decision was out. So if at all anything, I think the peeve in a way should be with Nitin Menon for going ahead with that decision. But I'll also say this, it is a really hard one as a batter because I thought Virat Kohli did everything perfectly, placed his leg on the leg stump, didn't go far to win, kept it on the leg stump and defended a ball that was meant to be defended the way it had to be defended. And if you start giving that LBW, then it gets really hard for a batter to defend left-arm spinners from there on.
The one thing I will say though is if there had been a biggish inside edge, Virat Kohli would have gone up straight away because the batter knows that there's been an inside edge. If you notice, he was looking at his partner and he was sort of suggesting it's going down leg side, isn't it? And he took about 5 or 6 seconds to ask for the review. Contrast that with Rohit Sharma's decision yesterday when he went boom like that.
Exactly.
So I think Virat thought that it's probably going to be missing leg stump as his primary reason for...
Absolutely. That's the confidence he has in his footwork and his game plan, because he was sure that his leg was on leg stump. So if it's hitting him on the leg stump, he believed it was going down the leg side. And it was in fact clipping. It wasn't even like, it hit the center of the stump. So it was a hard one for Virat, and it was a very interesting moment of play for India as well at that point of time.